Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we're gonna check another VR builds, but before we start don't forget to leave a like, share and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So this time we're gonna do another run against LWS Squad. You already know the premier picks for this one, which are Oboro, obviously for the mind control so that you stop the enemies. Also Lapis and Felicia are great for this. And I'll be showing soon enough a run with Inagedatsu. As a healer, she's pretty competent and she can be a self-sufficient tank. Um, but today, we're gonna be checking something different. Another great option is to use Phantasma as the core of your team to be the counter, do a little bit of damage, and also debuff the enemy. So, what are we using here? Astaroth to deal damage, Saika. Saika is the attacker you can substitute. It provides some utility, but I decided to go with this because I'm using F2P supporters. And some of them you can substitute depending on what you have. Some of them are old, so you may have to substitute if you are a newer player. But I am limited myself to only F2P supporters, and you can use gacha supporters if you have them. So let's start with the core, Phantasma. Phantasma is gonna be our tank and debuffer mainly. I'm gonna equip to her defensive Magatemas. Though I have a limited weapon, it doesn't really matter, it's a bit stick because this works on green and we're not going green. Then this PP weapon, both weapons 5 out of 5, this one plus 15, this one plus 13, anti-machine, whatever Magatemas, well, damage reduction against machine, whatever Magatemas. Then for skills, we're gonna use Phantasmal Mirror, Crunching Fear, and Twister Dance. These two skills are going to be our main source of healing, and this one is just the skill that pairs well with a defensive strategy, so it is pretty useful. You may use Succubus Whisper, yes, but I don't recommend it because we're not focusing on damage on this particular strategy. It's way better to have two sources of healing than having only one and relying on it to always land and heal. Because if it misses, which is unlikely because there's multiple enemies, but if it does, it's going to be troublesome. Then, let's see. For supporters, we have too many F2P options, and as you can see, this we received throughout the year. So, Galilim, which we received recently, Summer 4, Vacation 4, which we received this summer, and Faust. Because the passive doesn't matter, the active is just disgustingly good because it increases your damage by 100%. So, it is great. Anyways, for customs, there's few customs for Phantasma right now. I have these stats from the customs, the stats from the stat training, and let's go to the next one. Astaroth, the main damage dealer. I was thinking because I wanted to go rainbow, so this is going to be red, this one is blue, and this one is green. And I mean the supporters. So, Astaroth is going to be a damage dealer. She has Hexagram, which is a pretty F2P friendly weapon, and it has anti-trade against machines, so it's really good. We have the anti-machine Magatemes with Thunder Element, whatever weapon 5 out of 5 plus 15, both 5 out of 5 plus 15, whatever Magatemes on the sub-slot. For skills we have Fire Blast. While it is possible to use Fire Wave, the AI is not good at using Fire Wave. It's better to use Fire Blast if you are using the AI. If you want to use Fire Wave, use Astaroth manually. But we cannot with Saika on the same team, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But let's go back. So Supernova and Lava Servant. Honestly, there's not many options for Astaroth. If you have the other weapon, the Undying Apophis, that's an excellent weapon, especially for what's the name? For Supernova. but it's also good to use satellite flare. You can equip satellite flare if you have that weapon. If not, go for lava servant. It's just very easy to use. For supporters, we have Arabella, classic Arabella. Micah, it's been a while since we received this F2P supporter, so if you want to change it for whatever premium option that you have, that's fine. It's okay. Heavyco is a great and simple option to use. There's also a Mane, super great. There's you could put this on the main, by the way, but you want to pilot Astaroth if you do that. And if you are a returning player, maybe you have something like Sakuya, which is pretty good. Oh no, we have Sakuya here, so yeah, these two. Sakuya you can actually substitute for Mai. If you have that and you have it enchanted, it is viable. It's just to reduce damage in case she misses. But remember, you can substitute this for premium options that give you more damage. Let's say, which ones? I'm checking, guys. I'm checking. Like Anaros, technically, you can also use Kirara. If you have Sakura, it's another defensive option. And yeah, I already mentioned these two, so those are the options. My Astaroth does have a good amount of stats from the customs, and she's already maxed out on the stat training. And for Saika, I am using her because she can actually be a good pick here. She's pretty weak because she doesn't have that much super armor, and this stage has knockback, which is dangerous. So what you want to do is that you want to use take cover to disarm the enemy, and on that moment you can use Moon Assault, and you have to be extremely careful when you activate this skill to make sure the enemy isn't moving so that they don't knock back the Saika. Shadowless Kick is a pretty good damaging option, but you can also use Calamity Over. If you want the healing, you use Moon Assault. If you don't want it, you can use Calamity Over. For weapons, I'm using the Crimson Legs instead of my Ariel. Both weapons 5 out of 5, this one plus 15 in the subslot, but this one is going to be plus 13. Anti-machine Magatamas with wood element, whatever Magatamas on the subslot. Then, as I mentioned, take cover, super important. Moon Assault, Shadowless Kick, but you can add Calamity Over or change one of these two for Calamity Over, depending on how you want to play. Then, for supporters, okay, we use Misaki. Yeah, she's pretty good and you want it. We also use Vacation Baretta. She is another option we received this year, if I'm not mistaken. And she's F2P, but there's good options F2P on green. Like there's Torajiro for those who have it. There's the two melee supporters, Ichika and Kotone, if you are an old player. So yeah, you can go that way. And lastly, I have one that maybe not everyone has, which is Aina. Aina is just a damage reduction supporter, which you can easily substitute for whatever premium supporter you have. For example, if you have 3 copies of this, you basically have the same Aina bot. It's not going to affect the mobs, it's only going to affect the bosses. But it's still good enough. And you can equip Yachio. My Yachio is not enchanted. That's why I'm not using this and why I have to use this specific character. Because there were other things that I was thinking about, but I didn't have a great green option that was F2P because my Yachio is not enchanted. Just because of that. So if you want to change the composition a little bit, there's alternatives depending on the role that you want to fulfill. For example, you can use Sakura. Sakura is super good here on blue. Let's see. on blue to ensnare the enemy, or on green, also on green. Um, let's say you equip Misaki, Yachio, and another supporter, maybe Trajiro. But you want to pilot this so that Sakura doesn't die. If you go on blue, she's not gonna die. She's very self-sufficient. You can just use things like the new Kurenai is a great option. You can use Akina. You can use Nana. Or is Nana? Nana. You can use Lilium. There's plenty of options. You can use Butler Sakura, and she's gonna be a snare supporter and tank. You can also use Murasaki just to heal herself. You can use, I mean, she's a taunter and a damage dealer at the same time. You can use Kirara as a freezing supporter. You can use this one on green, and this one on blue. You can use Asagi as a tank. You can use Lapis and Felicia as healers. You can use any range attacker that has a high enough level as a damage dealer that can go on the back row, and depends on the color. For example, Maika goes red. Yeah, Sora goes blue. Yukikaze can go. I think her best one is green. Let's see. But it increases critical. Oof, 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 that's bad. Yeah, I don't recommend using Yukikaze, but if you have it, you can use it. And of course, Emily. Emily is a great option on blue. Yeah, on blue, because she has the anti-machine weapon. So that's pretty useful. She has the VR weapon here. So use whichever characters you have, but I'm going to show you how to use this specific build. Perhaps 9 is a little bit high. I'm gonna go 80. Maybe 8 is a little bit high, but I'll try it on 80. I'm gonna do another run if I don't manage. So we don't have as much control over the enemy because we're not using mind control, but we do have some amount because we're using disarm, and we just deal damage, and we have the ability to heal the party, which is super great. And we have to position ourselves properly if we want to use the heal. Like this, excellent. And if you have better weapons, use them. Be super careful, as I mentioned. Moon Assault is a great option, yeah, for sure. But, my god, this is interrupted a lot in this stage. I mean, I have practice, I already know how to use it, and I am taking advantage of takeover to guarantee that the enemy is not going to attack me. So keep that in mind when using this strategy. If you just disregard the knockback, that's gonna happen. That's going to happen. You have to use it after takeover, basically. Okay. But not always will it be easy, because as you can see, sometimes you have to dash and you have to do good timing, and you have to have a good timing. And let's see, done. Okay, ultimate. I'm gonna wait for the animation to see if I can. Oh, I still have the debuff. What a shame. Well, anyway, doesn't matter. And now, there, I'm going to heal the party. That's great. And oof, it interrupted the attack. Great, excellent. Yeah, it interrupted the enemy stumps. Yeah, be super careful. As you can see, I'm not using it optimally, but I see what's the right moment when the enemy is not facing me, when they are stunned, when they are disarmed. Oof, 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 oof. Oof. Anyways, take this. Yeah, a little bit of healing because I'm hitting the boss. Hitting a mob would heal me even further, but right now there are no enemies. Oh, the ultimate. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So yeah, as you can see, at level at step 80, this is working and it is pretty F2P. And as I mentioned, you can substitute many pieces of this strategy for premium options if you have something to substitute said supporters. Let's finish with an ultimate, which I didn't need. I mean, it had 8%, only 8 bars. So yeah, pretty useful, as you can see. So it is viable for sure. I was a bit short on time, but I managed. Remember, I have the name of Fuuma here to reduce damage, which is pretty useful, as you can see. Though I have healing, Astaroth has troubles healing herself. And if let's say that I substitute this, I'm gonna show you the same core, but this time I'm gonna use Astaroth on the main, and I'm gonna do one slight change. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna put the new Kurenai here, because all of these are F2P options. And if you have, as I mentioned, something better than Sakuya that gives you damage, maybe Kirara, maybe Taimanin, those are great options. And let's get this out of the way. And what I can put over here, basically a Murasaki would be the wisest thing to do. So I'll go with a Murasaki because it's just generic good. It is a simple option that you can equip. Do I want? Yeah, I guess I'll equip this because 3 copies were given to us F2P, so you should have maybe this weapon if you have been playing long enough. I mean, it was this year, it was on summer, so now I just equip whatever Magatemas over here, and let's go green. Yeah, because I was using green. And for that, we're gonna use the same. We're gonna use almost the same. These and these. And using the Murasaki is not wise because we're not going to slow the enemy. Instead, what do we want to use? There aren't that many options in the SR department. I mean, we really do need more SRs. Gremory needs to add some. But let's see. As I mentioned, Yashio would be a great option. You can also use... Well, I'll equip Lamarck. Oh, but it's not enchanted either. Well, we're gonna receive Lamarck and you can equip Lamarck, just so that you know. It is a great option for the sub-slot. Honestly, we do not need on this stage the healing and the active. We prefer using Misaki. So I'll just go with Torajiro, but you can substitute this for Lamarck when you get it, in case you do not have Torajiro. So, the customs, the stat training, weapons 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 plus 15 plus 14. Skills, we're gonna use not Tentacle Ankle, but Tentacle Hold. Tentacle Hold, Great Dark Sepul, or Tentacle Mine. Using Fujinojin might be attractive, but trust me, you don't want a counter. I mean, you can use it on this stage because of the high amount of enemies, but counter skills are not the best on VR. You don't want to waste time, and if the enemy doesn't target you, you're gonna waste time. So keep that in mind. So anyways, I'm just gonna heal this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I actually shouldn't. I shouldn't have done that because I'm going to reduce my HP, but whatever. That's fine, that's fine. So, well. So, we start by using the active. and I receive damage, and that is going to make me tankier. It's going to increase my attack, and it's going to give me healing. As you can see, having two off tanks or taunters is gonna be pretty useful. If you can substitute maybe who Murasaki for another range attacker, that would be great. But honestly, my range attackers aren't the best. I mean, I could use Emily, but I'm trying to go green, and she wouldn't fit very well using green supporters. Maybe you want to use, as I mentioned, Yukikaze. I think that Yukikaze and Mike are the strongest greens because I think the skill for Sora needs her to be near the enemy, and that's not great. But I don't remember. I'm about to do her guide once I level her up. I'm just waiting for an opportunity to level her up. But it will depend on some things. Maybe I'll have to postpone that for a surprise. There's gonna be a surprise. I won't say soon. It's gonna take some months, but there will be a surprise in the future. Maybe. Hopefully. You'll see. You'll see. And yeah, you see again. This is level step 81. Yeah, it's 81. So pretty easy. Of course, change the step accordingly to your capabilities, because I have a ton of customs, guys. I have a ton of customs. I have all the PBE awakening skills. That took a moment. I have all the PBE awakening skills, so I do have a lot of advantage. Maybe you don't, so you just reduce this to the corresponding level, and these are just builds that you can use, and try to make your own builds, of course. And the idea here is that you take advantage of the core. The core, as you can see, is Phantasma as a debuffer, but we also show I also show all the available supporters that you can use for this F2P, and usually the most recent ones for newer players, because I mean, of course I could equip things. I wanted to use Micah, but it was like equipping Nino and Granny and Estella maybe, and it's like it's been a while since the rerun of all of those, and maybe some of you don't have them. Some of you are just um, enter the game this year, and you don't have those. So I try to use the most recent options. So, anyways, that's about it for today. I hope you find this useful, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye.